Yo, what's up, people? This is VinceOfAllTrades, and I'm bringing you a double nuke fail on Skid Row. Some of you will argue that this is not actually a double nuke fail because I don't get either nuke, but you'll see as the game goes on, I consider a double nuke fail. It's pretty close. Even though I don't get both nukes, I probably should have had both nukes. And I'll explain both of those as they come up. I want to give you guys an update, and I also had a topic for the video. This is, according to my recorder, this is voiceover recording number 22. Crazy. Done. I think I've actually only done like 12 takes, but this is 22 according to this. So I know what I'm talking about here. So what's been going on with me? I know most of you, it feels like I've been gone for a long time. I know I haven't really been, but I went down to my dad's for 2 days, started at last Wednesday, and then I went up to my grandma's for 3 days. And I had a plan. You know, I was gonna hang out with Poison Ivy. That didn't work out. And Ivy, don't feel bad. I don't think you do feel bad about that. But don't feel bad about that because I know I didn't really expect it to happen anyway. And then I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go to Disneyland with Miss Doesn't Miss. That sounds like a good idea. I know she's always down to go to Disneyland. Meet her there. It'll be fun. But like I said, my dad doesn't have internet. I didn't know that. He got rid of it because he didn't use it. So I went down there and I was like, okay, time to get on Twitter, hit up Miss Doesn't Miss. I have nothing to do tomorrow, and there's no internet, so I can't do that. So that was kind of okay, now I have nothing to do all day type thing, and I ended up hanging out with my dad all day. It was pretty cool, but just, you know, my dad kind of struggles because he's totally outdoorsy. He's a sports person. Everything he does is sports, and I don't do sports. You know, it's just not my thing. So then after that, we went up to my grandma's for 3 days, and my grandma pre-made all the meals that we had for 3 days. Like literally, like the only food in the house was what she made for us to eat those 3 days. And she made all things that I didn't like, you know, and I'm a really picky eater, so that's easy to do. It's not like, you know, she's making really obscure things, but it was just kind of a bummer. So I lived off strawberries for 3 days, just nothing but strawberries. Strawberries for breakfast, strawberries for lunch, strawberries for dinner, and I love strawberries, so it's okay. But we ran out of strawberries. That was the bad part. So yeah, so it's been fun though. I like hanging out with my grandma, I like hanging out with my dad. And I just wish I could have, you know, got to hang out with Poison Ivy or Miss Doesn't Miss. That would have been awesome. But it'll happen. You know, I can always drive down there. It's not a big deal. I always have a place to stay, so it's going to happen. So, on to my subject. This is kind of weird because I've gotten to earlier than I usually do. I want to talk about statistics and probability and their effects on your life. There are two extremes, of course, if you want to go by how much you let it influence you. There are the people who completely live their life according to probability. They don't do things like buy lotto tickets, you know, because it's not a very good thing for you. Bam, headshot. I'm pro. But it also means that they're not really scared to go outside. And you know, they know that the chances of getting struck by lightning are pretty slim. They're not going to do that. People who don't live by probability at all, they're just like, you know, oh, okay, things are going to happen or they're not going to happen. They're the kind of guys, and I kind of fall into this category myself, that are kind of scared to go outside. You know, they're always double thinking things. How many ways could I die? People think that they can't die walking down the street. I guarantee you can die just walking down the street. There's plenty of ways to do it. You could get struck by lightning. You know, like I said, that's one of those things. Most people who think with some probability statistic influence would say that the chances are so slim of getting struck by lightning, it's not worth worrying about. But people who don't live by probability, who don't let those things bother you, you can say, hey, you know, what's to say that I'm not going to get struck by lightning walking down the street? So I'm just not going to go outside. Of course, there's also a chance that you're going to get struck by lightning inside, but that's a lot less. And we can't be totally and completely paranoid all the time, or else you'll never do anything. So, what was I saying? I'm going to quote a movie, Interstate 60. It's a very funny movie. I'll probably put like a link to the trailer in the description. It's one of my favorite movies. It's like I said, it's funny, but you'll walk away with it learning. You walk away from it with something, you know, you didn't know. You'll feel a little enlightened at the end of it. Character by the name of O.W. Grant. I'm going to paraphrase him. And he says, given an infinite amount of time, all events will occur at least once. This makes sense the more and more you think about it. At least it makes more sense the more and more I think about it. But as this host migration occurs, I'm going to explain to you nuke fail number 1. I'm in the chopper gunner. This dude decides to be a hero on my team. He's a hero, you know, like He-Man, Batman, those kind of guys. He takes the A flag, pushes him out of A spawn. We somehow lose the B flag, which is a fail on the rest of my team's part. It's not just this dude being a total douchebag. And I get killed. And me being killed is irrelevant at this point. You push them out of A spawn, I'm not going to get the nuke. Almost guaranteed. And, you know, I just don't get it. It makes no sense to me. It's one of the stupidest things that I've ever had a team do, and I've had teams do plenty of stupid things, but with a chopper gunner in the air, there's no reason to ever go cap that A flag and lose the B flag. I mean, how do you even... B flag is so hard to lose on this map. But they did it, and that's nuke fail number 1. Whether or not I would have gotten the nuke if I didn't die, if I was alive right now just chilling there, I don't even care. You know, at this point, I've accepted that I will not get the nuke. Either way, I don't think I got enough kills in the gunner. But either way, it's like as soon as they took that A flag, it's just like, nope, not going to get it. So back to what I was saying. Infinite amount of time. Some people will tell me that time is finite. Time is not... I was going to say not finite because it makes me really mad. All of my professors who've ever used the word have said finite. I don't know why, because it's like, it's a potato thing. You know, you can, I have no problem with you saying finite, and I have no problem with you saying finite. But I have never heard a professor say infinite. They always say infinite and finite. And it's just like, you say potato when they're like, yum, these are some tasty potatoes. But then you're like, ew, these are nasty potatoes. Like, it doesn't make any sense to switch it up based on positive, negative. But whatever, you know, it's just one of those things. So some people will tell me that time is finite and that it is not infinite, which makes sense. But I am going to tell you that the universe starts and ends the same way, or opposite ways. You know, the start of the universe was a Big Bang. The universe will end when it all condenses into nothingness, which will what's the word I'm looking for? It'll cause another Big Bang. And so it is in a sense infinite. Of course, time is specific to the relative universe. That's one of the things that dictates the flow of time, as does psychological stuff. And there's one other reason that time flows forward and not backwards. But that's getting a little off topic here. It is safe to assume, though, that time is infinite, given that the universe will loop, even though it is multiple universes. They will loop continually. One will lead into another one, and therefore time is infinite. So, why does this make sense? Why is it that with an infinite amount of time, all events will occur at least once? Because the more time something doesn't occur, the more likely it is to occur. If you look at it, the chances of you winning the lotto are constant. It's 1 in 486,000. I just kind of, that's always the number I feel it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot. I think that's like with 4 numbers, something like that. But you can go look up the number yourself. But people do win the lotto. You know, it happens. So it's not these gross, these completely irrational odds that are just unrealistic. People do win the lotto, and some people win the lotto on their first try. You know, some people buy 1 ticket. It's not like if you're, you have to buy 4. That's what my mom always says. She's like, yep, if the chances are this, and I buy that many tickets, I have to win eventually. But it's not always like that. You know, some people win on their first try. Some people win on other tries. That's because you have to factor in that everybody who buys a lotto ticket goes into that factor. Now, I use this example in the last, in like the first 12 takes of this I did. There is a chance that Megan Fox right now could bust through my door Kool-Aid Man style. And she'd have fixed thumbs, because I hate Megan Fox's thumbs. I find her unattractive solely because of how her thumbs are. I never thought I would judge people by their thumbs. And you can call me incredibly shallow. Nuke fail number 2 right here. Run away because I don't know where to call in the gunner. Get a hit marker on the dude, Sneaky McGee going around the map, not capping the C flag like a good teammate would do. And I get a hit marker on him. Spaz failed me, it happens. But there's a chance that Megan Fox right now could bust through my doors with fixed thumbs. Tell me, hey, it's time for a blowjob. Pull down your pants. She'd be surprised because my pants would already be down at that point. And I could go find out what the odds of that are. There'd be a very, very slim percentage. But think of all the times that hasn't happened. All the people that has not happened to, and all the time that they've had for that to happen, and it hasn't. The chances of that happening to me are constantly increasing, with the chance of it happening to others decreasing. So that's why I say that all things are probable. It's not good to live your life by the numbers, so to speak, because you're not, unless you're constantly monitoring everything that goes on in the whole world and taking that into account for how it affects the numbers and how it affects the chances of something happening to you, which would be a very difficult thing to do and very complicated. You'll never really know. And obviously I get the nuke on this chopper gunner. Of course, I died beforehand, so it doesn't count, but I earned a nuke right there. At least. Easy nuke. So that's the game, guys. I hope I got the point across on my topic, 6615. This has been VinceOfAllTrades, and I'll be bringing you more commentaries soon. Peace out, people.